Hi everyone, my name is Ian Moss and I'm the editor of JesusWired, and I'm here with indie rock singer Jeremy Greene. Introduce yourself, Jeremy Greene. Say hi to everyone out there.
This is Jeremy Greene. How you guys doing?
Awesome. Now, just to get started, can you just kind of introduce who you are, where you were brought up, and how you came to become a Christian?
Oh yes, I am Jeremy Greene. I'm from a small town, really small town in South Louisiana, called Kaplan. And I was born and raised in a wonderful godly home. So I've actually known the Lord my entire life. Absolutely blessed to have been granted that opportunity to be raised in a godly home. So yeah, my relationship with the Lord has been something that has matured over a very long period of time.
Awesome. Now, when did you kind of find out that you that you wanted to be a Christian artist, or that God wanted you to be a Christian artist?
Well, I mean, I've been singing since I'm like 5. Like I said, raised in a great church in a godly home, part of the worship team growing up. I've always had a hunger for worship and for just playing music in general, desire to do that. And I played with my dad in a band. We did like a 60s, 70s Christian rock band where we took all these old songs and rewrote them, and made them godly songs and replayed, Led Zeppelin and you name it. So I came up kind of in that, and at some point I started writing. I guess I was about 17, 18, started writing and just decided, I want to pursue music in a little bit more serious way, and got a band together and did that for years. So that's kind of brought me to this point.
Awesome. Now, when you're writing songs, how did you, first of all, how did you learn that craft, and secondly, do you have any musical influences?
The craft of writing songs, I never considered myself a lyricist by any means. Always found it difficult to put things together in that way. I love the music side of it. I could create musically in my head. I could hear everything that needed to be done. When it came to lyrics, I kind of struggled. So that's actually been something that the Lord has done. I knew I wanted to write Christian music, and God just kind of gave me words. I can't really describe it. I don't sit down to write songs per se. It's more things just come, and then sometimes that portion, the little piece of the song will come, and I'll sit on it for forever, and just like, Lord, okay, what's next? Because I'll fumble with my own words, and then all of a sudden, in one day or one afternoon, or sometimes in 10 minutes, God will just like flood my head, and words will just come really, really fast. I'll write them down as quick as I can, and sometimes I'll look back at the stuff I've written, and I'm actually amazed that it makes sense, because because it came out so quick in such a strange way than what I understand most people I talk to the way they write. It just doesn't come out quite that way. So it's definitely God inspired, which is what I want. I mean, I totally want the words to be His words. So
Awesome. That's always good to hear. Um,
yeah,
Now, what would you say your one main mission is through your music?
one main mission. I want people to come to know Christ. I don't believe that the music I write is necessarily for the church, because the church is already saved. So I try to write, if it's possible to do it this way, I try to write things that speak to everyday life, but always to the mental struggles, the mental things that come up, leading people to the Lord. We all go through so many different things. We all have to make the same decisions, whether we're saved or not saved. We're all presented the same choices in life at some point, and it's our decisions that we make that point us in what direction we go, whether it's towards the Lord, away from the Lord, in whatever facet. So I write about things that people can connect to, whether they know the Lord or not. And if you know the Lord, then you definitely are going to see, you're going to see the biblical basis behind it. And if you don't, I pray that it takes and creates a hunger for something more in your life. Kind of, I guess, where the title of the EP came from, More to Life, but that it creates that hunger, and then I pray for God's anointing just to move through that, and in some way draw people, to desire to know more. So
Awesome. Now, as you just referred to, you've got a new EP out called More to Life, which Noah Henson from the band Pillar produced.
yes.
Can you tell us about how you got hooked up with him and what it was like working with him in the studio?
Wow. Getting to know Noah has been an absolute blessing. It came through a friend of mine named Ryan McMahon. We were both on a label together at one point on a small indie label, and we met and got to know each other. He knew Noah and kind of talked my band and myself at the time into going and writing and working with Noah. And everything since then has just been magic. Noah has become a good friend, and he is absolutely super talented in a way that I don't feel I am. So we work really well together. He plays and enjoys the same type of music that I do. He's got a great heart, and getting in the studio to him was just phenomenal. We wrote all these songs in like 2 days each. Like wrote and recorded everything in about 2.5 days. So to see the amount of productivity that comes out in that period of time was phenomenal.
Awesome. Now, on that EP, there's 4 tracks. So
Yes.
here comes the toughest question of the whole interview. Which one's your favourite?
Oh, that's the hardest. My favorite, I think, is still the first one I wrote, which is Tonight. The hook behind it. It's one of those songs that I like. It's hard to say. You like to sit and listen to your own music, because sometimes I don't like to hear myself sing. But it's the one song that I can literally roll the windows down and crank it up, and I will just drive. It's just does that for me. So it's been my favorite. But I absolutely love all the songs. I think King of My Heart's been the big surprise off of it for me, because it was kind of we looked at it as we've got to write a ballad, more a little bit something a little softer, a little slower, a little more touchy-feely, and it was we were like, that's a throwaway song, we just got to have one on the record. It wasn't, we wanted all the big songs, and then that one came out, and we were kind of blown away with how good it turned out. So it's kind of a mix between those for me.
It definitely turned out great. Can you just kind of share the meaning behind that song and where that song came from?
Which one? Tonight?
Behind King of My Heart.
Oh, King of My Heart. Huh. Well, it definitely comes from my love for the Lord, and my love for worship. And I wanted to write something that that really was from me, and I was strictly talking to the Lord, because praise and worship is different than everything else that I do. I mean, I'm a worship pastor. Praise and worship is strictly it's a vertical thing. It's between me and Him. Even if I'm leading worship, we're worshiping God. Well, I'm not speaking to the congregation per se. I'm speaking to the Lord. So this one song was kind of my attempt to do something praise and worship type in this genre, and that I could really just talk to God and share my heart and my love for Him, and tell Him that He's everything, and I have to, because it's biblical. I have to put myself down each and every day. I have to stay humble. I have to stay hungry for His word and for Him. And so I wanted to write a song that really just said, "Look, Lord, You are everything. Everything about me and my life is Yours and Yours alone, and You are the King of my heart."
Awesome. Now, I just want to touch on one more track on the EP, Save Me From Myself, which is probably my personal favourite off the EP. Can you just kind of share the meaning behind that song and where that song came from?
Yes, sometimes I write out of a title, which is just, I thought that the title "Save Me From Myself" would be a cool title, and it just sparks a little thought process in my head, and instantly, a chorus came, and I just started writing. So because I had a theme, I wrote it around that, and we all as Christians can allow ourselves to get in our own way, and it takes the Lord to help pull us out of that and direct us in the right path. And God has so many times saved me from my own mistakes, saved me from my own faults and downfalls, and this song just talked about that. I mean, it was strictly that emphasis behind it.
Awesome. Now, what's the feedback been like on the whole EP so far?
What's that?
Well, what's the feedback been like on the whole EP so far? Have people been loving it?
The feedback's been great. I've actually been super. It's been awesome because it's not like every single person I talk to has a different favorite song. I mean, I know we only did 4 songs, and that was a financial a financial reason behind that. We wanted to put something out there, and then we wanted to try to get it and put it in front of labels and see what we could do. But the feedback has been absolutely phenomenal because I don't want to stick myself in a spot genre-wise or musically where I narrow my window of the audience too small. So I was praying that the music wasn't too heavy or kind of put me in a niche where I couldn't reach a really broad base. And it's been phenomenal to see the range of people who've been touched by it and who've enjoyed it. It's not been as style specific, let's say, in that area. So it's been really good. We're really praying for a little more radio pickup on the single, and that's just been tough because no one knows who I am yet, and we just got to get it out there.
Well, a quick message to all the radio hosts out there. This is Jeremy Greene. He makes awesome rock music. You need it on your station. People will be saved. Sorted. Get it sorted. Yeah? Sorted.
Thanks.
Do you have any plans for any kind of music videos off the EP to further get yourself out there?
We've been contemplating doing either lyric videos or actual music videos, and we're looking at doing a video. I'm trying to see if I can actually do we're going to attempt to do one on our own and see how it turns out. Whether or not we'll actually put it out, I don't know. But we're looking at the possibility of doing that. Once again, it's totally been a financial issue. If I had the money, we'd have 4 videos out by now. Yeah. So just praying that God leads and directs us and to do the right things. And that's the biggest thing that I want. A long time ago, the Lord shared something through someone that God would do some amazing things in my life, and He would open doors and all that. But in the end, only God would get glory for it. That there would be, most people would look at the way I did it or how it happened and say it's impossible, but that God would 100% give the glory. So I have totally been, it feels like flying by the seat of my pants on this, and allowing the Lord to just lead and open doors and move as He does and take it one step at a time. So the prayer is to get a music video out, because I would love to do that. But how quickly it's going to happen, I'm not sure.
Fair enough. Earlier you mentioned that you don't want to be stuck in one specific spot of a genre. What else besides rock and ballads can you do? Where does your spectrum end, as it were?
Well, I mean, it's not that I don't want to be placed in a genre, because the one thing that I'm getting a lot of feedback on, which is a little disturbing from my end, is everyone saying that Christian rock is slowly diminishing and the desire for it is waning. And whether or not that's true, I don't know. I think that it's going to come back. It just needs some great music. I think that's something that we need, just some good artists to kind of refresh it and get people going. But I mean, I've done everything from country to worship, praise and worship. It doesn't matter. This is where my heart is. This type of music is where my heart is. and that's where kind of my creativity comes out of. So what I meant by the genre-specific deal is, even though it's placed there, I believe that God can use it to minister to just about anybody. I don't think any of it is too far past, your old school guys wanting to listen to it. I don't think that moms and grandmothers are going to listen to it and say, it's just too heavy, I can't. It can still minister to people. If the hooks are catchy enough and the tune is right and the anointing's behind it, God can still use it. So that's kind of, I guess, what I meant by that. More than, it's going to be labeled Christian rock. It's just what it is. But that doesn't mean that someone's going to hear it and be turned away from it. It's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Awesome. Now, on the Christian rock subject, that there are a lot of people out there saying that it is waning, that it is dying a little bit. Personally, I don't think so. I think there are plenty of great young bands out there. What are your favourite other young Christian rock bands that you see could take Christian rock to a whole new level?
Well, I'll be absolutely honest. It's probably not the right answer, but I'll be honest. I probably listen to more talk radio than I do anything else. So to even tell you what young Christian rock bands are out there, because I'm not even young anymore, I'm getting old. I don't even know. I'm huge fans of Decipher Down, and of course my buddy Noah and Pillar and Disciple, and there's so many bands that have influenced me. And outside of Christian rock, I'm a huge Alter Bridge fan. I love Chris Daughtry. Powerhouse singers, kind of where I go. Big guitars, I like it. I enjoy it. It's got a good message behind it, and it talks about the Lord. Then I'm game. So I couldn't say for sure who there is out there taking it to the next level. Like I said, probably not the right answer, but it's. I'm a dad. I'm a family man. I got 3 kids. I'm worried about the next election right now.
Fair enough. It may not have been quite the right answer, but you said Alter Bridge, so that saves you.
Yeah.
Big Alter Bridge here fan as well.
Yes. Yeah. That's look. That's a Tremonti.
Nice.
More Tremonti fans, right there.
There's some Alter Bridge artwork up here somewhere. Up here. There you go.
I'm sure.
Have you played? Do you play any live gigs? And if so, what can people expect from seeing you live? If you have.
I haven't yet from the solo project. Like I said, I had a band for 12, 13 years, and we finally just called it quits, and I've been doing this on my own. So I haven't played anything live yet. We've got plans to do it. I just had shoulder surgery, so I'm healing up, and got to get that back and working, and then we got plans to try to get on the road and try to do some shows. But I can't wait for that. It's going to be a bit of a dream come true to finally play some of these in front of people. I stay busy playing because I'm a worship pastor, so 2-3 days a week I'm playing somewheres. But I can't wait to really get out and promote the EP and get out in front of people and let them hear the songs played live.
Awesome. Well, where can people kind of follow you on social media to stay up to date with as and when you do live dates somewhere?
It's definitely on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. I believe it's Jeremy Greene Artist. Facebook.com, Jeremy Greene Artist. And you can follow me on Facebook. That'll be my artist page. Everything I do will be posted through there. It's just the easiest way.
Awesome.
Of course, I'm on Twitter and just about every other one, but mostly everything gets done through Facebook. So
we will link to some of your artist websites in this article. Now, as we kind of wind this interview down a little bit, some quick questions. Are there any Bible verses that are currently impacting your life hard?
Verses. I've been right now reading through all of Paul's letters. I can't say there's a specific verse right now. But I've just been reading through the letters kind of over and over again, just trying to feel out where we're supposed to be as a church. God's initial design for the New Testament church, and as believers, how we're supposed to act and interact with each other. One of the things I've searched and to do with my music is hopefully encourage believers to be more, if that makes sense. I feel like culturally we've gotten away from a lot of the basic biblical meat and potatoes behind being Christians, and we've made a lot of excuses for our faults and kind of passed them aside as God's okay with it because of grace. And we need to hold ourselves to a little bit higher standard as believers. So I've been reading through that, trying to find out what that standard is, trying to find out where God, how God wants us to interact with other believers. What the church's responsibilities are. That's where I've been. That's where my head's been lately. So
Awesome. Now, are there any embarrassing albums that you own? What's your most embarrassing album?
my most embarrassing album that I own.
Or
Wow.
like?
Or like. Man, you guys a tough one. Let me think. I don't know if I have an embarrassing one. I got a bunch of old school Christian rock that every now and then I'll pull out. Some old Pride and stuff like that I like to listen to. But embarrassing, maybe some Corman. I might have a Corman CD somewhere hiding. I think every old Christian has one of those, or has in the past.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Coleman. We'll let you on that one.
It's embarrassing.
What you mentioned you don't really listen to that much other Christian music, but out of what you do listen to, what's your favourite artist out there currently?
Currently, I've been listening to a lot of praise and worship, so Bethel music right now has been huge for me. Bethel worship, as I get lost. I've been to they did their Bethel worship nights, and I got to experience that, and that was just amazing. You looked out over thousands of people, and it felt like even though the place had that many people there, it was still just you and the Lord, and there was nobody else around, and we worshiped for 3 hours till I could barely talk or stand. It was a great experience. So I've been just my quiet time's been a lot of that, just a lot of just me and the Lord. So yeah, been a lot of praise and worship lately, actually.
Is there a particular song that has meant a lot to you in recent weeks?
Good Father. I've listened and sang that one over and over. I love the Lord. He's done so much in my life that it just comes out.
That's probably my favourite worship song from the last few weeks.
Oh, wow. It's a good
one. So thank you, Jeremy, for talking to us today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Is there anything that we at JesusWired and our readers can pray specifically for you about in the coming months?
Yes. Direction. That I take the right steps in the next few months. The whole project's kind of been a test the waters kind of thing for me. Like I said, I had stopped playing for a few years and just wrote and recorded this EP, and kind of now we're feeling things out and trying to see, if there was a market for it, if people really wanted to hear it, if it's worth my financial and time-wise doing to pursue. So just for some direction, because I really believe it is, and God's going to use it, and He's already opened so many doors, that I really want to be able to pursue this with my whole heart, because it's been a little bit here and a little bit there, and I haven't really been able to focus on it. So definitely some direction from the Lord.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely keep you in prayers in regards to that. And on behalf of myself and the rest of the staff of JesusWired, thank you for such an amazing EP.
Thank you.
It's awesome, and everyone out there should go and listen to it. If you like Pillar, if you like Decipher Down, if you like those kind of rock bands, you're going to love Jeremy Greene. Trust me. Right, well that just about wraps us up. We will be posting our review of the EP relatively soon, and go and get plugged in to Jeremy Greene and get plugged into us, and keep rocking, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks, brother. God bless you.
God bless.